Coming up on KOTA Territory News at 5:30, the Humane Society of the Black Hills has changed its protocols for taking in surrendered pets. We'll tell you what you need to know. Plus a meeting at South Dakota Mines with the goal of curbing property taxes. We'll let you know how that went, and we'll give you a preview of the 40th annual Hills Alive celebration. Your news starts now.
From Skyline Drive, this is KOTA Territory News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Jack Cottle. The 40th annual Hills Alive Music Festival is back in town this weekend. Thousands of people are expected to fill Memorial Park for the Christian Music Festival with a full lineup of performers, including Sidewalk Prophets and Crowder. Local vendors and food trucks will also be there for festival goers to enjoy. The event has been hosted by Lifelight Ministries for the past couple of years, and their CEO said those who've attended the festival in the past might feel some nostalgia when they return Saturday and Sunday. He added the event is for everyone, no matter their religious background.
We want people to leave with the gospel message of Jesus Christ and get plugged into the local churches. But also, no matter what you believe, no matter what your background is, if you're a part of the community, we want people to be blessed by this event. And so we want people to come out regardless of what you believe. Come enjoy the food vendors. Come enjoy a time of gathering together.
Lifelight is still looking for volunteers to help prep and clean up, as well as assist the days of the event. To find out how to volunteer, visit our website at kotatv.com. Well, we kiss the cooler temperatures and cloud coverage goodbye today, but is there more sunshine in the future for KOTA Territory? Meteorologist Ryan Larmew is in the First Alert Weather Center with a sneak peek at the forecast. Didn't feel like it was going to warm up earlier today.
No, when you and I both came into work, it was still in the mid-50s,
yes.
But the sun's back out. It's a nice day out there. The sun's back out. Everyone is out and enjoying it. The sun cleared at around 2 o'clock today, and the clouds started to break and the sun finally filtered in, and we've seen that for the past few hours. Our Golden West weather cam here up on Skyline Drive showing the beautiful sun rays shining down on downtown Rapid City. Temperatures right now have warmed up. Generally, everyone's in the 70s, but a few spots are hanging around in the 60s. Alzeda's at 68, Custer's at 62. Downtown Rapid City, we're at 72 degrees, and we still got a little bit of warming to go in the rest of the evening. 69 down at Sheridan Lake and 66 at Four Corners. First Alert Doppler radar shows those clouds have continued to erode away as the evening has progressed on. We're going to continue to see that through the rest of the overnight hours as we see temperatures hold steady in the 70s until after sunset. I'll be talking about when that sunshine is supposed to keep on in the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Jack?
Thank you, Ryan. The murder trial of a woman accused of killing her 7-week-old niece continues today in 7th Circuit Court. This afternoon, the jury watched law enforcement's interview with Courtney Martinez Martin. In that interview, Martinez Martin said the only other persons in the home when the baby was injured were a man and 2 other children. She said she fell asleep, and when she woke up, she found all the children were naked and says she found the injured baby. Martinez Martin said she thought the baby was hurt when the toddlers tried to give her a bath. They also discussed the reason why she did not initially call 911. Testimony in the trial continues tomorrow and is scheduled to run into next week. South Dakota House Speaker John Hanson is running for governor because he says he wants to keep fighting for what he calls the South Dakota way of life. The 39-year-old Republican state representative from Del Rapids has 11 years of experience in the state house. Hanson, who's also a lawyer, served as the Speaker pro tem from 2021 to 2022. In April, he also announced Republican State Representative Carla Lems of Canton as his running mate. She was elected Speaker pro tem in 2025, becoming the first woman in state history to hold the position. KOTA Territory News spoke to Hanson Monday about his plans.
Whether that's on private property rights or life, or pushing it back against some of the leftist agenda that we've seen try to come into South Dakota. I think it's time to bring that proven leadership to our governor's office.
Hanson was the first candidate to announce his bid for governor and was later joined by fellow Republicans Dusty Johnson, Toby Doden, Democrat Robert Arnold, and Independent Terry Gleason. South Dakota's Property Tax Task Force holds a meeting in Rapid City, and KOTA Territory's Blake Trolley was there and has our report.
Lawmakers met at the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology to discuss ways to curb property taxes. The meeting included public testimony for people wanting to speak their mind on the issue. In the audience for the meeting was Susan Scherbeck from Hill City.
I think the spending needs to be reined in. I think that they need to look at taxing the McMansions and the third and fourth homes that are here at a higher rate than people that are struggling on lower income.
Sherbeck says when she bought her home in 1990, her taxes were $300 per year.
My property taxes have always increased. I've had no problem with that, but in the last few years, I'm now paying a little over $3,700.
Senate Majority Whip Randy Dybert, who's on the task force, says he was happy to see less populated counties represented at the meeting.
Perkins County and Harding County showed up, Hawken County showed up. Those are important opinions that we need rather than just the higher population areas.
Last meeting, lawmakers approved a motion to set a goal for the task force to provide proposals for the next legislative session that would cut owner-occupied taxes by at least half. Dybert was one of 5 lawmakers to vote against the motion. 1,
I didn't think a motion was appropriate in the summer study. 2, I want to have realistic goals, and I want to talk about it before we make those motions. I think that should have come later in the meetings once we had our data and had our plans. So being on summer studies more often than some of the other members, I was very cautious to approve a motion like that.
Lawmakers are expected to have a report with recommended policies in November. In Rapid City, Blake Trolley, KOTA Territory News.
Ellsworth Air Force Base wants to create positive relationships with local law enforcement agencies in the Black Hills through the Ellsworth Honorary Commander Program. Lieutenant Chris Holbrook of the RCPD was selected as the first person to serve as the base's honorary commander for the Air Force Office of Special Investigation Detachment. Holbrook was selected by Ellsworth 28 Bomb Wing Commander Colonel Derek Oakley. Lieutenant Holbrook has been with the RCPD for more than 2 decades and currently manages the department's Criminal Investigations Division.
As a child, I had exposure to Ellsworth through my father, who was in the military. It's always intrigued me. I'd like to know, about the base and the things that they do out there. And so I was super excited when I found out that I was going to be able to be a part of the program.
As part of the program, Holbrook will pair with a designated unit commander at Ellsworth for 2 years to grow a better understanding of the base and its mission. The Humane Society of the Black Hills has changed the way it takes in pets that people surrender. The animal shelter will now require pet owners to book appointments. This comes after 42 animals were surrendered to the Humane Society on July 1st. Staff members say they offer online resources to help pet owners find solutions for their animals.
Say if they're surrendering their animal for a behavior issue or financial, we have resources online where they can perhaps utilize to keep the animal in their home. The second reason being that's when we can gather information about the animal and their behavior. If they were raised with cats, raised around kids, so that we can make a better fit when we adopt them.
The Humane Society also requires people to sign a form and charges a $53 fee for dogs and cats. For more information, we have a link to the website at kotatv.com. For those tourists traveling by plane, changes may be coming to security measures. U.S. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is hinting at a TSA size revision for carry-on liquid containers. Noem did not give details as to if or when revisions might be made. Current policy allows travelers to carry on liquids in 3.4-ounce containers or smaller. Those containers must go into a quart-sized bag. Anything bigger must be put in check bags. Last week, the TSA's shoes-off policy ended. That change allows travelers to keep their shoes on through security checkpoints. Looks like the fog and rain we've had this week might finally be clearing out. We'll let you know if cool weather is on the way and your accurate first alert forecast coming up later. But first, we'll have a look at a local organization which makes life good for children with autism. That's up next in this week's KOTA Cares. In this week's KOTA Cares, we're highlighting the Autism Society of the Black Hills, where they're making strides to make life good for those who are on the autism spectrum, along with their families and caretakers. 1 in 31 children in the U.S. has autism, up from the previous rate of 1 in 36, according to the CDC. The Autism Society of the Black Hills has been serving the community since 1997, offering programs and support for children, families, and even young adults on the autism spectrum. Each year, they host a summer camp in June that provides kids with a safe, supportive space to connect with others.
That's one of our biggest things of the year is our summer camp. Because it just gives you that support, that community where you can, as a kid, feel like you can do those things and feel safe. And we have a great group of staff. They're local educators So they are very caring, very compassionate, and just make it a really great environment.
In addition to the summer camp, the organization hosts monthly events such as a bowling night and support Sunday to foster connections among teens and adults on the autism spectrum. For more information, visit our website at kotatv.com. Sunshine has returned to your accurate first alert forecast, but could storms ruin some of your weekend plans? Meteorologist Ryan Larmu has all the details after the break.
Now, the First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Ryan Larmu.
It's a gorgeous evening on our Golden West weather cam here in Rapid City. This is the east side of town near I-90 at the Granite Automotive car dealership. We are seeing the sunshine still shining here on the east side of town, on the west side of town, and throughout much of KOTA territory. Those sunny skies have taken over. 74 degrees right now at Granite Automotive. We're seeing the southeast winds fairly light, so it took a little while for that fog and the cloud coverage to get out of here because of the light winds, but everyone's warmed up nicely today. Much nicer than yesterday if you like the warmer air. 78 right now in Gillette. But look at Sheridan, they're at 85 degrees, a nice warm 85, definitely feeling like summer over there, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, Custer still at 62 degrees. Temperatures in and around the Black Hills showing that it's still below average for this time of year. We're 72 in downtown along with Nemo, 73 up in Spearfish and in Newcastle. These temperatures continue to hold steady in the 70s for the rest of the night. Rapid City likely going to warm up a few more degrees over the next couple of hours as we continue to see that sunshine, but after the sun sets over the horizon, 60s enter the forecast once again by around 10 o'clock. We will drop into the 50s tonight in Rapid City. Around 59 is the low temperature that I'm forecasting for tonight at 5 a.m. That's when that should hit. And by the time we're getting to 9, we're warming up once again, 70 degrees to end off the early morning hours. We're mostly clear in the time the sun is not up, but we're mostly sunny when the sun is up for your Friday. Ending off the work week, we're going to see high temperatures reach the 80s. Once again, the 80s are back, 81 degrees. A stray storm is possible later on in the day, but I think these stay off towards the south and the west of Rapid City. So we have mostly sunny skies throughout much of the day, but there's that possibility of those storms coming in later on. But the weekend, we could have some storms in the forecast for your Saturday. Saturday temperatures make it up to 84. We see isolated storms in the forecast. Otherwise, we're going to be partly cloudy throughout the day. And by Sunday, if you like the heat, it's back on. 90s are back in the forecast to end off the weekend and to start next week, too. Let's plan everything out on the hour-by-hour forecast. Overnight tonight, places in northwestern South Dakota and the northern areas of KOTA territory could see a few storms roll through as those push off towards the east. But here's tomorrow morning. We're seeing plenty of sunshine across the entirety of KOTA territory. But here's tomorrow afternoon. You saw that little blip here by the Black Hills. That's that stray storm that's possible across the area. The possibility of those storms increases as we head throughout the evening hours into the overnight hours Friday to Saturday. We see some storms begin to push their way through KOTA territory. That's our highest rain chance over the next few days. But Saturday we have another shot for some of those isolated thunderstorms to fire up on a broken line of storms that are going to be pushing through KOTA territory. It's going to be hit or miss on Saturday as we head throughout the evening. But Sunday, look at this, nice sunny skies, and we're not expecting any rain chances throughout the day. So if you are heading out to walk the dogs, tomorrow should be a good day. Saturday, might want to bring a towel with some of those isolated thunderstorms, but we should see some nicer conditions to end off the weekend to start next week. Mostly clear tonight. We're below average, still in the 50s and 60s, but tomorrow we're back in the 80s in Rapid City, 81 degrees, 70s in the higher elevations of the hills, 87 out in Sheridan. A straight storm is late, but we will see temperatures get back into the 90s in Sheridan by Saturday. Rapid City in the 90s Sunday and Monday, then a few stray storms possible during the middle of next week with the 80s back in the forecast. Jack?
That still was a weird little cold snap we had.
I know,
there.
it was the second coldest July day ever in Rapid City.
It felt like it.
Yeah, it was chilly.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan. Still to come in sports, we check in on the National High School Rodeo Finals. You can help the Rush mascot Nugget become the ECHL Mascot of the Year. Noah Miller has that and more in KOTA Sports.
Good evening and welcome into KOTA Sports. The Rapid City Rush might not be in season right now, but they've been making a ton of noise this offseason, adding a new coach and GM, signing their captain, and just yesterday, they promoted Peter Drikos to associate coach. The Rush have been staying busy this offseason with adding and re-signing some people. Last week, the Rush introduced Dave Smith as their new head coach and also announced they re-signed Ryan Wagner, their captain, and he will be back for year 2. And now the Rush announced They have re-signed Parker Bowman, who is also back for year 2. Bowman, who played in all 72 games last season, recording 7 goals and producing 23 points. Bowman says he is beyond fired up to be back in Rapid City for year 2 with the Rush. Here's what Ryan Wagner talking about the change of the team.
Yeah, there'll be a little change. There might be a little kind of getting used to it, but change is always a good thing, especially kind of how we went through last season. There's so many ups and downs and stuff like that, and we just want to build off the ups. And he's been more than open to that, and I just love the passion that he's bringing. And the players that I've been talking to are getting just as excited as I am.
They want to keep building off the ups. Here's an up. The Rush are just continuing to stay busy, even off the ice. Nugget, the Rush mascot, needs your help in becoming the ECHL Mascot of the Year. You can help Nugget out by voting at echl.com/contest/cast your vote for Mascot of the Year. Today is the final day to vote, with voting ending at 10 p.m. Go help Nugget earn ECHL Mascot of the Year today. Continuing to the National High School Rodeo Finals, we have Ryan Shepik from Pierre, South Dakota, posting a score of 289 in reined cow horse, finding himself in 13th place for Go 1. For some saddle bronc riding, Tane Eaton from St. Ange, South Dakota, posted a 70.5 and earned himself 17th place in the Go 1 event. And I missed this last night. My apologies for that, but for the Go 1 and team roping, Drew Harper and Jet Jensen, Harper from Faith, South Dakota, and Jensen from Belle-Fourche, posted a score of 9.07, and that puts them in 20th place in team roping, which out of 72 teams isn't bad at all. Congrats to them, and good luck to everyone that is still competing in nationals. And the Hardhats traveled to Sioux Falls to take on West Post 15, and the Hardhats jumped out to an early 3-0 lead in the first inning, and then in the bottom half of the inning, West Post knocked in a run and had runners on second and third with 2 outs, but McCoy Rippentrop would get out of the inning with a strikeout, and the Hardhats would run away with this game as they are up 10-2 in the 7th inning. And the Sasquatch playing in Game 3 of 4 of the series against the Spuds. But the Spuds put an end to the Sasquatch's winning streak as they defeated them last night. But I think the Sasquatch are going to bounce back tonight with a win. First pitch is at 6:30 p.m. tonight. And the Sasquatch announced today that they are hosting Games 3 through 5 of the ILB Championship. Game 3 is August 1st, with Games 4 and 5 being on the 2nd and 3rd. I predict the stadium will be packed as we all see if the Sasquatch can get their first ever championship.
At least we're getting over that cold snap, so it's baseball weather around here again.
Yes, I am glad it's back to baseball weather. Nothing beats it.
Absolutely. All right, thank you very much, Noah. And it's a time to celebrate tattoos. That's up when we come back with KOTA Territory News at 5:30. Got ink? Today is National Tattoo Day. It's a day to honor the history and culture surrounding tattoos and the elaborate artistry behind them. Humans marking their bodies with permanent ink is a practice that goes back thousands of years. The reach back into history goes to the days of ancient Egyptians and ice mummies. The word tattoo derives from the Polynesian word tatau, which means to tap or to mark. Tattoos have gained in popularity and acceptance over the years. If you were to get one, what design would you go for? Celebrate the day on social media by using the hashtag National Tattoo Day. I am tattoo-less, so maybe this is my day to go get one.
You did to go get one. You got a lot of catching up to do. I got 3.
Man.
I got 3, all on my arms. Northern Lights is on this arm.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for some Northern Lights. We're not going to see them tonight, though, but it would be a nice stargazing night.
Maybe we'll see your tattoos later.
Yeah, maybe so.
All right.
Temperatures tonight in the 50s. A few spots on the plains in the 60s. Mostly clear skies, below average. Tomorrow, though, we're back in the 80s. 81 in Rapid City. A few spots in the hills, staying in the 70s. A stray storm is possible late from the southwest off towards the northeast. That's where those storms will be moving throughout the overnight hours Friday into Saturday.
All right, I don't have to wear long pants out anymore.
Well, that's good.
All right, that'll do it for us. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you tonight at 10.
Thanks for watching KOTA Territory News, your local news and weather authority.